choir was started by John Finley Williamson in Dayton, Ohio at the Westminster Presbyterian Church in 1926 and ultimately wound up in Princeton, New Jersey. Williamson was looking for a home that was not only culturally vibrant, but was academically rich. Throughout its history, Westminster performed in many different ways. It did the soundtrack for Fantasia. So there have been really historical moments.
Westminster Choir College has benefited from the generosity of several individuals who have supported the mission of the Choir College and invested in its future. Campus buildings and landmarks bear their names in recognition of their commitment and foresight. Williamson Hall is named for Westminster's founder, John Finley Williamson, and his wife, Rhea. Dr. Williamson in many ways revolutionized choral music in American churches. Throughout his career, he evolved and expanded his thoughts about choral music and education while always continuing the preparation of aspiring musicians to serve the world through music. Rhea Parlett Williamson served as dean and a teacher of English and drama in the early days of the Choir College. After hearing the Westminster Choir at a festival in Dayton, Ohio in the 1920s, Catherine Houck Talbot approached John Finley Williamson and said, "Young man, your choir is a revelation. What can I do to help?" Described by former President Lee Bristol as possessing the finer qualities of Joan of Arc and Auntie Mame, Mrs. Talbot put aside an opera career to raise a family. But for the rest of her life, she was Westminster's greatest advocate and a generous benefactor, arranging for its first European tour and historic performances in Russia. Talbot Library honors the vital role Mrs. Talbot played in Westminster's founding and her family's continued connection to the Choir College. Erdman Hall, home of the Presser Center for Music Education and Presser Voice Lab, is named for Dr. Charles R. Erdman, a professor at Princeton Theological Seminary. Dr. Erdman played a crucial role in Westminster's move to Princeton. Erdman set up the meeting that included President Hibben and the trustees of Princeton University, President Stevenson and the trustees of Princeton Seminary, and the trustees of First Presbyterian Church, which is now Nassau Presbyterian Church. They started meeting on Wednesday morning, and by Wednesday afternoon, Westminster Choir College had a new home. Erdman also made it possible to meet with the governor of New Jersey, which finalized and formalized Westminster's charter. As Williamson said, it was just that simple and that easy. Sophia Strong Taylor was a successful businesswoman in Cleveland, Ohio, and a friend of Dr. Erdman's. She heard the Westminster Choir perform in Ohio and listened to its regular radio broadcasts. According to legend, although she had only met the Williamsons once, Mrs. Taylor invited them to dinner at the Princeton Inn in 1933, and over dessert, she offered to purchase the land on which the campus stands today. Lee Bristol left his position as a vice president of the Bristol-Myers Company to become Westminster's third president in 1962. A successful businessman, he was also a talented musician, the third American to become a member of Britain's Royal School of Church Music. Bristol Chapel is named for President Bristol and his father, Lee H. Bristol Sr. William H. Scheide served on the board of Westminster Choir College for 27 years, 9 of them as chairman. A renowned Bach scholar, he was a frequent lecturer at the Choir College and an engaged leader who underscored his belief in the mission of the college with generous support. Westminster was honored to participate in his 100th birthday concert in Princeton in January 2014. The William H. Scheide Student Center was named in his honor in 1998. Elsie Hilliard Hillman is the granddaughter of Catherine Haug Talbot and a member of the class of 1948. She served on the Board of Trustees for Westminster Choir College and for Rider University. With her husband Henry, Mrs. Hillman has committed time, talent, wisdom, and financial resources that have led to Westminster's current success. The Hillman Performance Hall serves as a center for rehearsals, performances, and a portal to connect Westminster with the world through technology. Marion Bucklew Cullen, a longtime Princeton resident, also served on the Westminster Choir College Board of Trustees. An avid traveler, she took great pleasure in meeting Westminster alumni around the world. Westminster Choir College recognized her work as a community leader and an advocate for the arts and education by presenting her with an honorary Doctor of Humanities in 2003. Upon her death in 2012, Mrs. Cullen made the largest bequest to the Choir College in its history. The Marion Bucklew Cullen Center honors her long-standing commitment to Westminster Choir College's mission and to its students. Westminster is grateful to these remarkable leaders and to the many others who have invested in the Choir College over the past 8.5 decades.